Okay, so this is just going to be a dream video. I don't know, who knows? I don't know if I'm kidding. I might end up rambling. You know me. That is just my puffy jacket. You probably want to see more than just my puffy jacket. Okay. So, just dropped Callie off at school. I'll stay home with Tanner. He's gonna go to the gym, but I asked if he could wait because Hobbs did not want to get up this morning, and then he ended up getting up, but not really with enough time to get ready. So I asked if he could just hang out there with Hobbs until I got back, and then SB canceled to go hiking. She was at 9. And then I have my new person at 10:30. So I'm gonna go home and see if I can go back to sleep for an hour because I am exhausted. I woke up twice last night, middle of the night. I don't know what time it was the first time, but I couldn't fall back to sleep. So I read. And I woke up the second time at 4:30, thinking that maybe the first time I woke up was like 4. And then maybe the second time I woke up, it was closer to 6. So I was like wide awake and I couldn't fall back asleep. So I've pretty much been up since 4:30. I don't know if I ended up falling back asleep at all, but I did lay there. But I laid there for a long time. So, dreams. I want to get to my dream last night, but I figured I'd share the other ones first. Because of you talking about dreams. So, the first one was I don't remember when it was, is the thing, because I didn't record this one. I didn't write it down. I did say that I wake from dreams I'm supposed to receive messages from, but I hadn't done that recently, and I woke up to this dream. Maybe I don't know if I showed this or not. But Dave came back to the house and basically tried to just live there. And I was like, no, you don't live here. You gave up residence here. And I don't know if I ended up calling the police on him or what ended up happening, but it was one of those where I, always leave my door unlocked. I could care less. So, which, come a long way. A year ago, could not do that. It took me a while to get there. And then I remember I did the back doors for a long time, the sliders. And I couldn't do the front door. And then I think I eventually did my car. Then I think I eventually got to the front door. So, I was like, well, I don't really want him showing up. I do leave it unlocked. I don't really want him just showing up and, when Sam kicks him out and thinking that, well, the thing is, I didn't know at the time that Sam was kicking him out, right? I just had a dream that he showed up and tried to move back in. I was like, what the hell? That's weird. And I didn't want him doing that. So I locked the doors because I took it literally. So I started locking the doors again. And then, I changed the code because I still had the same passcode on there as when he had lived there because I didn't really care. I didn't think he was ever going to try to do anything about it, you know? So I ended up then finding out that Sam was kicking him out, right? And I was like, well, that's where that dream came from because I legit then thought he might try to come back. He never did. But I realize now that that dream was the universe's way of letting me know Sam was going to be kicking Dave out. So I think I said this, I don't know, but I'm wondering if the dreams that I had back whenever last year, I don't know, about Dave relapsing, I'm wondering if it wasn't him relapsing with drugs, like my dream said, but that might have been, and I don't remember, it might have been around the time that he started cheating on Sam. So that is definitely an addiction. You know, not being able to be faithful to someone and always looking to see what's better, what's the next hit, you know, looking for the next best thing. So this dream, I think, was literally just telling me that Sam was getting ready to kick Dave out. That he was going to be not living at Sam's anymore. Then, my most recent dream, which was last week, so Tanner's so cute. He got really anxious because he just finished up this huge bathroom remodel, like 2 bathrooms, remodeling the entire thing. Like, literally, like, tub, tile, vanity, mirrors, fans, doors, huge. No, just not the flooring. That was the only thing he did not do. But tons of stuff, like lots of work. He did it by himself, including moving this huge, like one of them I think so was like a cast iron tub, like huge heavy tub on his own. So he finished with that job week before that, like, so week before last. So then last week he was off of work. And this week he was off of work. He thought he might have had a painting job for one of our friends, but he wasn't really sure if he wanted to necessarily do it. And then he was like, well, I need to be working. So he started applying for like all these random jobs, like just like jobs that he wasn't even like paying attention if it's something he wanted to do. He was just like, I need to be working. And I was like, he'll get there, like, you know. And he always talks about, well, maybe I should go back to pipe fitting. But then he talks about how hard it was on his body, and he talks about, you know, like the hours and stuff like that. And I'm like, I just sit back and wait because I know that the right job is going to come for him, but he's just having a hard time feeling like he doesn't have a purpose right now, as far as work's concerned. And I was like, well, it's probably because you're supposed to be trying to figure out what else to do with your life besides work. So he does go for hikes and stuff like that. And then day before yesterday, he called on an unemployment claim that he had with Texas. And I can't remember how old this one was, like 3 years or something. I really don't remember. And he ended up getting $7,000 from the one call from his unemployment claim. It's like, well, that's what you were supposed to be doing with your time, Tanner. Congratulations. So he went for a hike and made that call, and he made $7,000. I was like, the universe is trying to tell you, like, you know, you're supposed to be doing something else with your time right now. So, we went out. I was so proud of him, though, because he's, like, starting to realize. He still freaks out. And he's like, well, maybe I should go back to work, like, for pipe fitting. Maybe I should take a job. And I'm like, I just kind of, like, nod and smile and, like, you know, because I'm trying to actively listen and not fix things for him. But I'm like, if you're meant to, you will. If you're not meant to go back to pipe fitting, guess what, honey? There's no job that's going to ever be offered for you for pipe fitting if you're not meant to go back to that job. So, it's just funny to watch him grow too. But yesterday we went out and just grabbed brunch, and celebrated his getting the unemployment claim. I mean, you know, he should. He's entitled to it. He just needed to put in the effort to collect on it. So, one call, and he got the $7,000. And I guess it's different. It's not like governmental unemployment. It's like through the union. phone was for ADT, for their like smart systems. He thought it was for install. Turns out it was for sales. Yeah, neither one of us are like into that kind of stuff. Like, who wants to go door to door and try to sell stuff, right? So, anyways, though, I had this dream that he was driving like one of those big white ADT. I don't know, do you guys have? I think you guys have ADT in Illinois. But it's sorry, I gotta stop the chain. And that was the only part of the dream that I remember, was that Mayhem just jumped up next to me and laid down next to me. And if you recall, the crickets that like to come hang out next to me and then just transition on, pass away. I was like, okay. And then it was actually Joe, hot tub guy, because I told him, I was like, well, that's weird. I was just sitting here, like, it was back at when I was at Halo's, early on when Dave first started having the kids. And I didn't know what to do with my time. And I just stayed there at Halos and I was working. And I was laying down on my stomach on the computer, and this cricket just comes right up next to me and hangs out and then just passes away. I was like, what the? And then Joe was like, maybe he was using your energy to transition on because you have such a calming, peaceful energy. And I was like, huh, okay. I'd never thought about it that way, but thanks. Like, good way to put it. So, that dream last night with Mayhem that I remembered this morning made me think about that. And the green left arrow was just flashing. So I'm going to take that as confirmation of what I just said.